song.
How about that?
Yeah, I like it. We have a theme song now.
We have our own theme song.
We're going to have bumper stickers with yay.
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 Yay, 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 yay.
Yay. And we're doing
catchy.
We're doing a show in back-to-back weeks for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it's
so
back.
That feels good. That feels good. So
we're back, Slim Shady.
Yeah, I think we are. There's something that I want to talk right off the gate.
Ooh, off the gate or
right
out of the gate?
Right out of the gate. Marvel needs to slow down on the movies.
Yeah, they're coming
They
fast.
are coming fast and furious, and there are way too many out.
They're doing Fast and the Furious?
I mean, it would probably be a step up from
it
where...
It would be, yeah, it was bad.
That would be amazing if you get those cars. Actually, I think maybe DC, you have to do the DC Fast and Furious
What if the Fast and Furious cars were Transformers?
Okay.
See, that'd be cool.
But
that'd
I mean, if you're doing Fast and Furious comic books, it's got to have the Batmobile in it.
Oh, I would think.
So I think DC is the one who needs to do it.
So many great cars.
But I think Marvel...
That's another topic.
Let's get back to that. But Marvel, slow your roll.
Yeah.
There are way too many movies coming out way too fast.
Yeah, it's a little bananas right now.
So I haven't really seen too many of them recently.
I think I'm caught up. I'm not really sure, but I think I'm caught up.
I got a mini boycott going on, I guess. I don't know. It's not going to affect their bottom line.
Why would you boycott? They're wonderful. They're all excellent when they're done. It's just a question of, here's my thing. There's so many of them that tie into each other. You kind of have to make sure you catch them in order so you don't miss something that could be in the previous.
I know. And that's another, I mean, I get the Marvel universe. I like that they're all intertwined.
Yeah.
That's great. But it doesn't mean that they have to release a new one every month.
I don't think it's every month.
It seems like it's every month right now.
I don't think it's every month.
What
I want is I want the Justice League stuff to be better Justice League on the DC side. Okay. That's what I want. I'd like to see, we had that one, okay, here's your Super Friends is starting to get together, and it was an odd choice of initial Super Friends, but that's okay. But I want to see more of that come in.
Okay.
You know, I want to see Wonder Twins and what they're going to do with that. Where's Gleep?
What do you think about the Joker? Have you seen that?
I have not. I've heard it was out. I've not seen it yet.
You haven't seen the trailer?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It's kind of, I don't know. It seems like it's a Stanley Kubrick film.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. It's a character piece. It makes you like the Joker. He's kind of the protagonist in it. But then obviously there's going to be a turn, but they didn't really show when that turn was. He got punched in the face like by 5 different people throughout the 90-second trailer.
Really?
People were beating that Joker ass.
Well,
and that it could be why he's the Joker now, I guess.
I guess that's why they're building up.
And when he held up, it's not really a spoiler, but he held up his. Can there be spoilers in trailers? I don't think so.
No.
I think a trailer is one big spoiler.
A trailer is a spoiler. Well, not really, but they don't give enough away, so it's not even a spoiler.
But there's one part where he holds up his mouth like this.
Yeah.
And like the big. And I was just waiting for him to like take out a knife and just cut it, just like give him.
That'd be awesome.
Well, because that was in the Heath Ledger.
The last one, yeah.
He had the Chelsea grin. It's called.
Right.
You know where it gets that name?
Well done. No, I don't.
So it actually has to do with Chelsea in the Chelsea football world. Right?
Oh, okay. I was going like Chelsea Pier with you on that one. No.
This is an English thing. And I know the Chelsea hooligans way back in the day. Now, football hooligans used to be bad news.
Hooligans.
It used to have more to do with the fighting than it did with the actual football.
Someone's phone's not off.
Okay, I thought it was.
Someone's phone is not off.
Well, just in case you're wondering, the cleaning lady is coming at 1 o'clock.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's good to hear.
Yeah. I've muted that. Regardless, the Chelsea supporters, the hooligans, they when they would fight people, they would pin people down.
Ooh.
And using like a knife or a credit card or a razor, they would cut that part of your mouth.
No way.
Like that little webbing right here.
Wow.
Yeah, and it would make that scar, and that's called a Chelsea grin.
Okay.
And that apparently was a badge that means you were rooting for a better football club than they had at the time. Okay. I don't know exactly what it is, but
they take it a little crazy over there.
Yeah, not so much anymore, but you can see an attempt at a Chelsea grin in that movie Green Street Hooligans.
Okay.
Right? The one that had Frodo Baggins in it.
Yeah.
Right? It was a good one. A little Chelsea grin. But anyway, I want back to the superhero cars type thing. You said there's a lot of good ones. Which one's your favorite?
Ooh. You mean like just superhero cars, or are we talking like all cars?
No. I want to stay within Marvel or DC. You can go to either side of the coin.
It's tough to argue the Batmobile.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to
really
be
tough.
That's got to be everybody's number one.
All right, so take that off the top, and what else do you put for a vehicle?
Batboat.
Batcopter.
The Batcopter. honestly my favorite scene in every single Batman movie, just because of how ridiculous it is.
The Batcopter in the TV show was outstanding. That's where I was going, in the original. Yeah, and so good.
When Batman has that shark in the Batman movie.
Yeah, the shark repellent.
He goes, oh, Robin, pass me the shark repellent spray. And he just goes down the line, and he has all these different repellent sprays, and they're very well labeled.
They are.
But they all have very specific uses. And somehow shark repellent just wound up in this copter.
It should be
other repellent sprays.
That's how it works.
Yeah. What other cars are out there though in the comic book?
The Green Hornet's car was a pretty cool car. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have for cool cars for superheroes only? I mean, so many superheroes fly. I mean, you remember now they basically make Wonder Woman fly, and she had that cool invisible plane back in the day, but they don't talk about the invisible plane.
Does it have to be cars, though? Let's just go vehicles.
Okay. Bat motorcycle.
There are two better motorcycles, though.
Shoot.
Ghost Rider?
Ghost Rider's amazing.
Punisher.
Ooh, tough call.
I think you got to go. He's got that chopper with the skull on the front.
I think Ghost Rider's even cooler.
He has a skull on his skull.
He does.
So, I mean, there's skulls involved.
Skulls make everything cooler.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Yeah, Green Hornet had a bike too,
everything cooler.
Oh, look at that. He has a ring on.
I have a skull ring on right now. Skull and crossbones, yeah.
But you're a Mason, but you're wearing the skulls. What's going on with that?
Did you know, and the skulls are a different organization, but Skull and Crossbones is a Masonic symbol.
Oh, is it?
Pirates stole that from Masons, as they say, but
did they?
I don't believe that's the case. I believe some of the original quote-unquote pirates were Masons.
I think pirating is older than Freemasonry, if I'm not mistaken.
You are mistaken.
Am I?
Yeah.
Because people have been pirating since the good old days.
I'm well aware.
Yeah. So when's Freemasonry
is pirating older than the pyramids?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh. Okay, fine.
I'll argue that one all day.
All right, maybe not. I don't know.
So if you go to the old cemeteries throughout England, when you see a Masonic symbol, they have the skull and crossbones inside those old tombstones.
Okay.
Inside the Masonic symbol.
Okay.
It was a Masonic symbol long before it was anything else. And I think
Tank Girl. She's got a tank.
Oh. Yeah, really.
This conversation's just bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what other people should tell us what they think their favorite vehicles are for superheroes. But it's tough to beat anything that Batman does, makes, buys.
Yeah.
But I think you can also say, look,
buys them.
Iron Man's suit is a vehicle, really, when you look at it.
Technically. Yeah, I guess.
So, I mean, the tough part is
a vehicle then? I mean,
yeah, I would say so.
A vehicle?
Wouldn't you think? It kind of is. It gets you somewhere. I don't know.
LeBron James is obsessed with catching Michael Jordan.
He is obsessed about it, and he'll never be Michael Jordan. So say what you want. You will never be Michael Jordan.
Well, he's trying in all of the records and all the championships and all that kind of stuff. Throw it out the window. I'm not talking about that stuff.
Okay.
Space Jam 2.
Yeah, well, they had to go to the biggest name.
He is starring in Space Jam 2.
Yeah, I know. They had to go to the biggest name.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like that at all.
No.
First off, Space Jam was fantastic.
It was a great film.
Excellent. I just watched it recently.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I found it. I don't know what it was on, but I found it. I said, I'm going to watch this again, see if it holds up. It holds up. It's a great little crossover movie.
Yeah.
I love cartoons. I love basketball, so it's a cool idea. So I'm all game for that. But
that being said,
you did it once with the greatest of all time.
Yes.
And a supporting cast that was outstanding, including Bill Murray.
Yes.
You cannot remake that one with Jabron Lanes and tell me it's that good. He's not anywhere near as likable.
Uh-huh.
I don't think he has accomplished in his career. Put that stuff right back on the table if you like, because it is a different time. Michael Jordan took the torch of a league that was defunct. The league was in serious, serious trouble.
Well, no one could beat the Celtics, so, I mean, why would anyone else want to?
But nobody was playing. The 70s, nobody cared.
Yeah, nobody cared.
And they weren't filling arenas. They were getting 300 people to a game. They were about shot. Larry Bird and Magic Johnson single-handedly brought the game back and made people care more about basketball.
Mm-hmm.
They saved the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
When they were starting to time out, and look, Bird had major injury issues.
Yep. Magic
had AIDS.
I don't think he has HIV anymore. I think he beat it.
There's something going on there. There's something that people don't talk about, but there's a way. He looks healthy and great.
Well, South Park told us why.
Oh, boy.
Money. IV'd it right into him. I mean, come on.
How is a generation that was raised on South Park, The Simpsons, and Family Guy the most sensitive generation in the world right now in the history of the planet?
I don't think it is.
Where everyone's so sensitive.
I don't think it is. I don't think the younger folks are.
These aren't the younger folks.
Well, I guess not anymore. Yeah, I don't know. The true millennials, younger than me.
Right. Do they have a new name yet? The younger than millennials? Do they have a name?
Well, so the millennials are the. I think it starts at 1988 now or 87. I am now an exennial.
I don't like that.
But it makes sense. It's a cross between Gen X and millennials.
But in between,
I grew up pre-internet. I remember what it was like to play outside and have an imagination.
My friend, there was a Gen Y after Gen X.
Gen Y is millennials.
No, Gen Y and then millennial. Gen Y follows Gen X, and then the generation you're telling me you're not millennial.
No. It goes.
You'll look this up.
Yeah, Gen Y is
look it
millennial. Up. Gen Y. Here we go. Gen Y. Both Gen X and Gen Y are suspicious of big business, the government, and the media. What is this?
Well, it's
true.
This
is the definition. Thank you, Google. That's not what I need. Millennials, also known as Gen Y.
Interesting.
So that's why Xennials are Gen X. Crossover, exactly. Because I remember what it was like to play outside and use my imagination.
Right.
And I've used an Atari, right? I had a very analog childhood, even though the internet was starting to do its thing.
Okay.
So I also had AOL and Prodigy. I used CompuServe.
Wow. Right? I didn't even use CompuServe.
Right. I think the actual delineation between...
I used Computron.
Oh, very nice.
That's from The Office when they made up that character. It's like, this is Computron. What is the largest ocean in the world? Computing. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah. It's going to be the Arctic Ocean soon. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that ice is melting fast.
The melting of the polar caps.
Every week there's an article. A giant piece of ice broke away that's the size of Manhattan. Why is it always the size of Manhattan? Why can't it be the size of... Like, I'm sure Manhattan is
people use loaf of bread as a reference. Come on, same thing.
I guess. Well, that wouldn't make a headline. A piece of ice the size of a loaf of bread. But getting back to the Xennial thing, I think that the actual point of whether you're an Xennial or I don't think it's a birthday thing. I think it's whether or not you used Netscape and had a Friendster account.
I never had a Friendster account.
Yeah, I know, but you're an old man, so you were slow to adopt this thing. Yeah.
I still send letters.
No one's going to do that.
Put it in the mail. No one's going to pay their bills online.
No one's going to try to get free music.
People are going to steal all your information. You can't trust the computer.
Here's another good delineation.
What?
If the first time you downloaded a single song, it took you more than 2 hours, you're an Xennial or Gen Y.
Or Gen X.
Yeah, or Gen
I was on that.
No, the Gen X, they were.
Easy.
No,
I'm a Gen Xer, man.
Yeah.
We were like the unpredictable ones.
I actually, by accident, pressed play on the voicemail machine.
Does it drive you nuts when people say on accident?
Did I just say that?
No, but does it drive you nuts? People do it all the time.
It's going to now it will.
I did that on accident. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my biggest pet peeve is when people say Chipotle.
You don't like Chipotle?
It's Chipotle. It's Chipotle.
Shouldn't you say it with an accent too? Chipotle. Chipotle.
I'm going to Chipotle.
Okay.
You're not going to find that restaurant in Mexico.
Right.
It's not real Mexican
It's a valid
food.
point.
It's not.
Does it drive you nuts when someone says, they're like, and this week in the news, Alexander Rodriguez, is it? And they put the accent just on someone's name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I don't mind it in the reverse, like when it's Mexican television and they're, I don't speak Spanish, so I'm just going to
Try.
Hola, me llamo Michael Furman. ¿Cómo estás? Like, you know what? They do that. Like they
all the time.
They just drop the accent entirely. They do it mainly when you're watching. When I watch soccer, sometimes I watch games on Univision that aren't available here, and it'll just be the ball's getting up. Bill Buckbeak.
Wow, that's pretty good.
They do that.
Is that why you love soccer so much? Because of that announcement of a goal?
Nothing to do.
Is that what brought you into the game? Because that's a really crazy thing they do.
No, I didn't. I knew that they did it that way, but I didn't know that the way that they actually do it is like they fill up their lungs, they exhaust every square centimeter of air, Notice we're back in metric now.
Right.
Square centimeter, square millimeter of air, and then it sounds like they're dying. And then they go into a goal. So they do the two. They do the real long one for as long as they can hold it, and then they do the goal. Yeah. Let's hear yours. Here we go.
Ready?
And this is Bill Buckby's.
1,
Go.
2. Go!
You should see the color. You should see the color he's turning. Wow. Wow. Take this. Woo. Well done.
There you go.
Well done. Yeah. Wow. Now you're like, you are panting. You are panting. I took a picture during that, and I'm totally posting that. And people are going to see it, and they're going to be like, what was going on there? And well, you're going to have to listen to the show.
Got to listen to the show to hear what I was saying. Yeah. I just kept going.
I know. And your lungs, I'm assuming, just because of the size of your body, each lung is probably the size of my torso. So I think I'm handicapped there.
Yeah, that's why I'm so large. People think it's belly. It's actually more lung.
Yeah. No, that was pretty good.
I have a large capacity for air.
Yeah, you have a big diaphragm.
I do, large diaphragm.
Out of the way.
It does.
There you go. Well, good for you.
It also allows me to burp on command. I can literally burp at any time.
Most people can.
No, not most people can. A lot of people are like, I have to burp. I can't get a burp out.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you mean like a real burp, not like a fake like sucking air and not the
yeah.
But you mean like a big old belly burp?
Well, I mean, not like the deep, not always the deepest, but yeah, you suck in some air, you trip it up in your diaphragm, and you blast it.
If you go to Chipotle, for example,
yeah,
and you're just like, man, this barbacoa is good, I'm gonna inhale it. Like you don't even take a second to bite. It's just like
it just goes suck right it down. Yeah.
And then you have a lot of air in your belly, so you can just be like, boom, get out. No, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but those you can do anytime. Wow. Don't knock over the new set.
Check the entire microphone for a second. Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So
now I have to burp.
Everybody, these are not sound effects that we're putting in after the fact, just so you know.
They are.
This is your state representative.
I put those in.
Actually sitting here. Getting his burp on.
And you'll like it. I'll give you a free glass of lemonade when you're done.
A quarter. Back in my day, that could buy you 20 Tootsie Rolls. How much do Tootsie Rolls cost now?
I don't know. I haven't bought a Tootsie Roll in forever.
They got to still be a nickel. They still got to be nickel candies.
So they were making a ton on those back in the day, if that was the case. Yeah. You go to Hearts and get yourself a Tootsie Roll.
I used to love that, and the individually wrapped.
Were you around for Hearts?
Yeah, of course.
No, I don't know when they closed.
Yeah, so. No, it was a great story. I actually had a coin collect. I still have a coin collection. That was all coins that I bought there.
Nice.
They had a really good coin.
I used to go buy penny candies there. Yeah. My great aunt used to work there all the time. Aunt Julia, she was always there.
So with the Tootsie Rolls, I know you like the chocolate ones. You have to like the chocolate ones.
You have to like a chocolate Tootsie Roll.
Did you like the orange and cream Tootsie Roll?
No.
And then there was the blue one.
No.
I think.
No. Strawberry. No. There's a white one. No.
Yeah, no.
No. Tootsie Roll's a Tootsie Roll. Tootsie Pop. All good.
So you'll go different flavors on a Tootsie Pop, but not a Tootsie Roll? Well, because the center Tootsie is
a Tootsie.
Always...
The Tootsie is what it is.
Called?
Well, I guess I would say Tootsie Pop, Tootsie Roll. That's one thing that's in common. One is rolled up, and one is inside a lollipop.
Yeah.
So it's a Tootsie.
It's a Tootsie.
Yeah.
Okay.
I enjoy a Tootsie.
I'm sure you do. We're going to have to tweet to the Tootsie. Put out a Tootsie tweet.
We should.
And see what they say about that.
This show is sponsored by... Nope, not yet. Sorry.
Brought to you by Tootsie.
Tootsie, the chewy chocolate wonderfulness you'll get stuck in your teeth.
Not that strawberry Tootsie.
No.
So I by mistake pressed play.
Wasn't there a banana Tootsie?
I've been trying to get this out. Was there a banana Tootsie?
I think there was a banana Tootsie.
Are you thinking of Laffy Taffy?
No. I think there was a banana Tootsie.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to look that up.
I don't know the banana Tootsie.
Go ahead. Good your story you've been trying to get out.
So, well, I was just going to say, I by mistake pressed play on the voicemail.
Ah, okay.
So I know what it's about. So why don't you can up and
put my cans on.
All right, let's see what's up.
Hey guys, it's Liz. I know you guys have done a couple of different things over the years, and I just wanted to know what was your favorite job that you've ever held, regardless of the reason why you left. And then,
Disney?
What was like one of the worst jobs? Everybody has that story.
Disney?
So that'd be kind of interesting to hear. All right. See you later. Bye.
Wow, that's a solid question.
Yeah. I'm all about that question.
Solid question.
All right, so you said Disney.
No, I don't know if that's the worst. I mean, it definitely was not good. By the time I worked for Disney, it wasn't owned by Disney. So we were kind of the Disney stepchildren for the store.
Okay. What was it, the ABC store?
It was owned by the Children's Place. So it was a different animal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went really...
that's interesting.
They had all the rights to all the stuff. They were kind of partnered with Disney. So we were, Disney employees are called cast members, right? They're not called employees. They're called cast members.
They weren't dream makers?
Cast members.
They're cast members. So you were a cast member.
I was a cast member, but we were kind of like the stepchildren of all cast members.
The first day you join, are you an extra, and then then you work your way up to featured extra?
No.
And then eventually you're supporting.
You were a cast member immediately, and as the manager of the store, I got a really cool card. It was called the Purple Card, and it was good for me and 3 guests anytime I wanted to go to Disney World or Disneyland and get in for free.
As often as you wanted?
Often as I wanted.
You should have kept that.
They take it away.
Oh.
Well, they don't. They let you keep the card if you want, but they take away the power of the card.
That's good.
Yeah. It's like saying, here's my Amex from
so you're the manager.
2003.
You weren't the principal actor? They didn't call you that as a cast member?
No, store manager, but you're a cast member. But you know what? I would lump that into all the retail jobs I worked over the years. Retail was not ever fun to do.
I couldn't imagine.
Oh, the general public is very difficult to work with.
Yeah,
very difficult.
Yeah, but especially when it's the general public coming in and they have all their kids with them. Like I'm a father, right? I got 2 very young ones. I apologize
to everyone in retail.
To everyone, not just in retail. I mean, more so at restaurants.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and we have this. The 20% tip is usually a standard.
Yeah,
when you're a parent and you're not an asshole, right? You got to put 2 and 2 together,
right?
It's usually a 25 to 30% tip.
Yeah, you would think,
because there's always a huge mess.
Yeah,
I think last week we actually had a 35 because there was like a tornado that came through.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's you have to be decent, a decent human when you go out to eat, and you have to tip anyways.
Right.
I can't stand when people are cheap with tipping. That's one of my even biggest
I'm with you on that.
peeves.
I'm with you on that.
If you're gonna go out and someone's gonna wash your dishes, bring you your food, take your order, all that kind of stuff, you got to give them a tip. It's not their fault that society dictated that they're gonna work for $2.50 an hour and then tips. I'm sorry.
They have a choice.
They do have a choice. I will give you that. They do have that choice. However,
but that choice is based on the tips.
You also have a choice and cook your own goddamn dinner. All right? You also have that choice.
Absolutely.
Can you tell this is actually a pet peeve of mine?
I can tell. It grinds your gears.
Yes. Yes. This is becoming a recurring segment. This
is.
This is 3 weeks in a row that my gears have been grinding. Yeah.
Anyway, so I am all for you should be tipping. Now, here's my question. Do you tip on takeout?
It depends. I have.
Okay.
It all depends on 2 things.
Okay.
One, is there a need in my life for that person to like me?
Well, that's selfish.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. That is the selfish. Because it's like, think of it this way. It's like if you're going to go and get takeout from the same place, like when you're at work all the time, over and 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 over. Go. Oh, he's doing it again. He's doing it again. What was that?
Broke. That was really weird. That broke.
Weird.
Sorry.
Yeah, your vocal cords were like, you need to stop doing this.
Like, you don't need only one goal a day.
So yeah, A, if I need the takeout person to relive. B, so you go to this place over and over and over and over and over again.
We got that. We got that.
If it's gonna end up with me getting better service, or if it's going to end up with me not getting a fish hook in my egg roll, or if there's any, if there's anything like that, I'm all for that. Then the second reason why you would tip somebody for takeout is if there's an effort to it. Let's say this, you have like an absolutely huge order, and there's giant box involved or anything. If it's more than just like, here's your bag, get out of here. You know? If they got to schlep 20 things up to me and we have this whole, I'll throw a couple bucks at them. Thank you for your assistance. Kind of a thing. I don't know how I feel about it. I've done it before at different places when two things. One, if it's super busy where they are, because they're not being treated properly. The people aren't tipping all the time. Yeah. I will do that. Number two, I try to do that in places like Cookhouse, great example. I usually tip at Cookhouse when I get takeout because their hostesses work the front. As a hostess, they're not getting their full regular tips. Okay, so that's a different story. And they're the ones that are getting my food. Now, I've already paid online. Yes. Right? When I show up, I'm not going to give them extra cash. I put the tip in that up front. Whoa. Crazy. You hit crazy hands talking. With the spring, yeah. So I will tip, and I always feel bad tipping with a credit card, but I don't always carry cash on me either. So, because when you tip with a credit card, that's got to be either reported or taxed, yeah. And sometimes the business owner will decide how much of that is going to be paid out to the employee, which bugs the crap out of me. No, that grinds my gears. The tip has nothing to do with the owner, right? Yeah. So I think that's certainly a part of it. If that person isn't doing that role, it's a different animal than being your wait staff. I certainly believe in going over 20% for a solid meal. Always tip well, because I was taught years ago, your wait staff will always, always, always remember two people. Those who tip well and those who tip poorly. They never remember that person that's in the middle. You tip them well. You can afford a couple of bucks, tip them well. Especially if you're getting takeout that's like over and 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 over. I'm not doing it again. No, we can't do that. Every time you start to do something like that, I'm going to break into goal. So you're going to start doing this goal thing when you over and over and over and over. All right. Fair enough. So for me, I don't know. One of my favorite jobs was probably one of my high school jobs. When we get to favorite, what was your worst job? We were starting with worst job. Oh, we're starting with worst job? I said retail is certainly part of it, but I have to tell you, some people might not know this. I have worked many jobs. Yes. Because I've worked a lot of second jobs. I've always been someone who puts in the time. I'm never afraid to work. And I've worked some crazy jobs over the years. Okay. Some only lasted a day. Oh. I was a meat delivery guy for a day. From a butcher. I believe that. Awful gig. And then all of a sudden the delivery stopped showing up and they're like, you are fired, Buckby, get out of here. They didn't give you like a cooler to put it in the back of your car. Yeah, so it's like this box of meat. Gross. That I'm driving 45 minutes to drop off. Minutes? By the time you're done eating a few of them, it's crazy. So I didn't do that for very long because that just felt dirty. I sold cars. That was awful. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, I didn't enjoy that in any way. Okay. And I was a bartender at a local establishment for, I bartended at several places, but I was at one place very, very short term. Okay. So there's a lot of bad jobs for me. I'm sure we'll touch on this in other shows as well. Yeah, I'm trying to really think. I haven't had any jobs that I would necessarily consider were bad. Like, I don't recall having a job that I loathed going to on a day in, day out basis. Okay. I did have when I left one of my, real career jobs, there was a manager who was just an absolute oaf, which played into the reason why I left a very comfortable job. But other than that one dimwit of a human being, I don't think I've ever had a job necessarily that I did not enjoy getting up for every single morning. It's tough. I've had a bad manager or a superior in any way can ruin the entire experience. Yes, yeah. No matter what the job is, no matter how much you love what you're doing. Right. And so can the customer or the people you're serving or the people you're providing for can also ruin that experience. I've worked very few jobs that I've actually worked directly with customers. So obviously, working at a movie theater, that was just all customer. When I was a lifeguard, I loved being a lifeguard. That was great. That was one of those high school jobs. You can sit around. Yeah, I only had to save one life.
That's good.
Yeah.
One is good.
Yeah. You know when you blow your whistle and say, don't run on the pool deck? And then that little kid's like, I'm going to run on the pool deck. Well, Timmy slipped and cracked his head and fell into the pool.
Oh.
And Myke had to jump in to the rescue.
Well, did you dive off the big chair?
No, so I can't dive. So I basically ran around the pool deck.
Belly flopped into the pool.
Well, no, when I jumped in feet first, but I was just like, I flailed in. I was
he's flailing in his chair. Like the visual flailing. Matters.
Well, yes, it does. So in order for me, I'm trying to go back to that moment.
You need to be there.
Life. Yeah,
sure.
And then of course Timmy. For the record, his name was not Timmy.
You sure?
His name was not Timmy.
Okay, fair. Do you remember his name, though?
No.
Well, that's a sad day.
Well, he didn't thank me for saving his life.
Wow. The little boy who was probably knocked unconscious by cracking his head open and falling in the pool. He wasn't unconscious,
but he was bleeding. And then that was stage 2. I'm like, okay, get everyone out of the pool. Then I see this blood floating.
Right.
You know, or rather, get him out of the pool so he doesn't drown.
Get everyone else out. There's blood
Timmy's dying, everybody out! No, but that was everybody out of the pool. There is blood floating in the pool.
Right.
Chlorine needs to do its thing. Everybody get out, go to the snack bar. It was actually a ploy for Timmy and I to get everyone to the snack bar. Sales were low on Klondike ice cream sandwiches, apparently.
Nice.
Everybody get out of the pool. Yeah, Timmy was not having a good day.
Right.
But in all fairness, I said to stop running poolside. Right? There were 2 rules.
And how old was Timmy?
I don't know. Probably like 10 or 12.
Because 10-year-olds listen.
He should have
well.
known better.
Yeah.
He should have known better. You don't eat poolside and you don't run poolside.
Right.
Those are the 2 rules that I had. And I didn't think that, don't drown your sister. That's the rule number 3, I guess. But those top 2 rules, I think, were quite fair. And I was like, listen, I'll let you splash, kids.
Right.
There were some lifeguards who were like, no splashing. No going down the slide backwards.
Yeah.
Like I was like, whatever, go down the slide backwards. If you start to drown, I'm right here. Don't worry about it. That's how you know I had confidence in my ability to save lives.
Back to Timmy.
Yeah, so poor Timmy, he fell in, he cracked his dome, he started bleeding. I had to get him out. Luckily, he was conscious and aware of what was happening, just in a lot of pain.
The term is conscious and alert.
Yeah, conscious and alert. Fair. So I didn't have to kiss him or anything like that.
Oh, did you anyway?
Mouth to mouth. I kissed. Yeah. I was like, yeah. Where's my thank you? Now get out of here,
out of
kids.
The forehead.
Yeah. No, it was. He definitely. He took the fact that he is still alive for granted. That's not something you should take for granted.
Maybe he lost that memory in the crack on the head. And now the poor kid has no idea.
Where am I?
I expected far more amnesia and quicksand when I got older, because that's all it was on TV before.
Yes.
No one gets amnesia. It doesn't really happen.
No, it doesn't really happen.
No. But it used to happen all the time on TV, so I expected it. So go ahead. Back to Timmy. Sorry.
So there were always 2 lifeguards that were working at the same time, but not always on duty at the same time.
Okay.
Like every now and again, I needed a Klondike bar, right?
Sure.
So I would be like, I'm going to go play a game of tennis or play Guess Who. They had a lot of board games.
Weird.
It was like a tennis and swim club. I'm not going to tell you exactly which one.
But the one that might be a tennis and swim club in town?
The one that's here. So it's like, I had and we're in high school. I was the only male bodyguard. No, wait, that's the wrong word. Lifeguard. I was the only male lifeguard, and most of the other female lifeguards were attractive, obviously.
Yeah.
Moral of the story is Timmy probably really wanted the girl lifeguard.
Sure.
And he wasn't looking. He was like, he's planning
with Sandlot move.
Yeah, exactly. He's playing with his friend. All right, guys, I'm going to run and I'm going to pretend to fall. And then I'm going to get the attractive lifeguard, Kristen, over there is going to come down here and give me mouth to mouth. And then it's just like he messed up on 2 things. 1, Kristen was out at the snack bar. And 2, he cracked his dome really hard.
Maybe he liked Myke.
I had to spring into action.
Maybe he liked Myke. You never know.
Well, he didn't act. If he liked Myke, he would have thanked me.
Maybe he tried but couldn't speak. He was so verklempt. Could be. I don't know.
Okay.
This story is going on an awful long time for what's kind of a boring story about Timmy.
It's not really that boring of a story.
Timmy hit his head. He fell in the pool. You pulled him out.
Yeah.
That took me 10 seconds.
Yeah. There were a lot more details. It's the minutia of the story that makes it the story.
Okay. Fair enough.
So what was your favorite job, though? Now, you can't say, okay. being state rep aside, because your constituents are listening, he just didn't say state rep is the best job ever.
It's a great job.
I don't care.
It really is.
I don't care.
An awesome job.
That's a different podcast. You and the mayor can start that podcast. You can have your own podcast.
You want me to start a Mayor and Me podcast?
Mayor and Me.
Mayor and Me.
Oh, Mayor and Mo.
Mayor and Mo.
Okay, fair enough. So, okay.
All right.
Aside from
I'll call him on
public
that.
service.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd do it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is he listening to this show? Does he listen to the show?
Ask him right now.
Okay. Your favorite job, though, outside of public service?
Wow, tough. Well, I mean, I can I consider Harry Brook outside of public service? I mean, can you consider your current state of affairs? I think that's kind of cheap to say that I'm in the best place I've been probably ever, just because I'm not. And I will say this: I'm not making a fraction of what I've made in the past.
Okay, you're not in it for the money.
No,
that's
but past jobs I've really truly enjoyed. I have to tell you, one of my favorite jobs of all time was when I was in high school and into college. When I came home from college, I worked at Video Movie Corner.
Nice.
That's great memories.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Great memories. When we had all the video cassettes were behind you. People came up with the empty box. You had to find the tape, give them the tape, put it in the plastic container.
I remember that. Yeah.
Right, and they had to sign that. They had to show you their membership card, not memory card,
Yep.
their membership card, and it was such a cool place.
So I have a question about that.
Yeah.
With bringing the case up there. Were you responsible? I have wondered this before.
Okay.
And our younger listener,
a video cassette,
if he does listen, won't understand.
Why does that have to be he? We don't have young female listeners.
We have one female listener, and she calls into every show. As far as I'm concerned, we don't have very granular analytics for this show.
Right.
It's based on who calls in. So all we know is the one fan. Oh, no, two, because we got a care package.
We got a care package from somebody. A fan.
Yeah, and we've actually had voicemail. Okay, so we have at least 5. Yeah. Regardless of how many fans we actually have,
sure.
Hopefully all of them understand. The VHS box always had that piece of styrofoam in it. Right. Did it come like that, or did you actually have to cut the styrofoam into that shape?
We and we stopped using the styrofoam because it was such a pain, and people would like pick away at it. And
so you actually had to do that yourself.
They don't come with that because the cassette was in that sleeve.
Comes with it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The cassette was in the sleeve.
Yeah.
So when you take the cassette out, there's nothing there, and we ended up going with just the box and leaving the box on the thing. We didn't really have the styrofoam in there. We didn't believe.
So you just had the empty styrofoam.
Yeah, the empty cardboard,
box, sand styrofoam.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, those were pretty flimsy.
They were.
Yeah.
They were, but we'd stand them up on a shelf, and that was what we had.
But so at other video stores that actually cared about their customers and products, they actually would cut the styrofoam.
I don't know.
Into the box.
Maybe someone sold that size styrofoam. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed that job.
That guy's not doing too well these days.
Let me tell you, this is what's really this is what's crazy about that job. I worked in a video store. Yeah. Which was a good video store. See if you know where I'm going with this. And I could rent whatever movies I want, be watching a movie behind the counter. This is back in the day when there was a porn section.
So there was always a black curtain there.
We had a door.
And you had to go in
the door.
You had to go in a door.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the little kids would be all types of, and try to peek in.
Who was not pervy that's going in that room? So everyone, there was no online porn or anything else. So if you wanted to watch,
no anonymous.
If you wanted to watch porn, you had to go to the video store and you had to face someone and put it on the counter in front of you. And this could be whatever type of porn you like because we carried all sorts.
Really? All sorts of porn existed in the. Is this the late 80s?
This is late 80s.
Late 80s?
Yeah,
okay.
There was all sorts of porn.
Example, Exhibit A.
Well, I mean, considering...
Put your pants back on!
Sorry, you said exhibit. I was trying to exhibit. So, this is late 80s. Things are very different then to what they are now. Things were more taboo then, right? So, we had homosexual porn. Of course, the two ladies would be some of the most popular no matter what. We had the bi-curious, and the names were always...
Bi-curious?
Yeah. Yeah, people would be like, "Yeah, my wife wants to see some of this." She wants to see,
yeah,
and it was crazy. And sometimes couples would come in together and pick something out. It was very sweet.
That's nice. Okay.
Pick out what they're gonna watch that night.
But like, what if your principal is the one who comes in to do it?
There was one called like Kinkorama. I still remember Kinkorama, and they had like
you only had the one. You didn't have Kinkorama 10.
No, there was a bunch of the whole series. Yeah, and they had like a gas mask on the cover.
Oh
yeah, we had really weird German stuff that was like I'm not even getting into detail. It's some of the most disgusting things you could ever imagine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bad.
Did anyone who you knew or like one of your friends' parents or anything like that?
Yeah. So here's the fun part. They'd come in to rent a movie.
Call them out right now.
No, I'm not.
Call them out on the show.
They'd come in to rent.
Statute of limitations has run out.
No, I'm not going to do it.
I'm
not going to do it.
But you remember who these people are.
We'll discuss it off the air. So
I am so excited for this show to end. I've never been more excited for a show to end. I feel like one of our listeners. I cannot wait for this show to end.
People come in with their kids. They get different movies. Blah, blah, blah. They do all this stuff. I used to have some parents who go back to the adult section while their kids were in the kids section. They'd pick something out and pass it to me behind the counter so the kid couldn't see it. Because you have to bring the box. The box has all the pictures and everything on it.
Oh, God.
So you have to bring the box to the front.
You got to walk through the store.
You do.
All of a sudden, the gas mask one.
Whole different thing.
Yeah. You're just, oh, no, it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Timmy.
Yeah.
Timmy's parents were just as weird as he was. I'll tell you.
So these people would come up and some people would like drop it on the counter and walk away because they were so embarrassed to rent whatever movie it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And people come up and there was, I did one day, these people were kind of jerks.
Okay.
Never rewound.
Didn't you charge them $2 for that?
We didn't charge.
No?
We didn't charge.
But there was a rewind machine. This was back in the day when there was actually a machine made that sole purpose was to rewind.
And I had 2 of them behind the counter.
That's insane.
But be kind.
Be kind, rewind.
Rewind.
Yeah. They
didn't do it. They'd get mad. They'd reserve every hot movie as soon as it came out. They'd call and put a reservation down, and you just had to put it on side. Be like, hey, whatever movie, give me an Avalon is coming out. That was always a big joke for ours. Was Avalon?
Was Avalon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the manager of the place used to keep putting it on the new release rack over and over for like a year and a half. It was on the new release rack because nobody knew what it was. He's just like, just keep it up there. It's fine.
Okay, great.
He goes, well, I don't know what section to put it in. I'm like, haven't you watched it? No, I won't watch it. It looks stupid. So we didn't know what section to put it in, so it stayed there. But where was I going with that? Oh, so these people that were jerks would come up and they'd go, okay, I'm gonna rent this movie. They'd put it on the counter at you and they'd walk away. Now it's a Saturday afternoon. There's a lot of people there. They're overlooking at the TVs now. And meanwhile, they just throw this porno thing at me. And I'd go, and I'd be like, okay, anything else aside from The Touchables this week, sir?
The Touchables?
That was one. It was play on things, you know.
Like, no, it's The Untouchables.
Like, you have The Touchables here, right, sir? The adult films have a 3-day rental. And that one guy,
I only need it for about 20 minutes.
The one guy that I did that to turned 8 Shades of Red out the door.
Oh,
gone.
Boom.
He was so embarrassed.
Never came back. Oh, of course he's embarrassed.
Yeah,
he's sitting there getting an adult film.
Yeah,
and you called out to and I'm sure there was someone else in that store who knew who he was.
No,
maybe
full store.
Small town, right?
Happens all the time.
Oh, that's great.
And this we used to have certain couples used to come in and they'd come in and pick one out together. Then he'd come in the next week and pick out a all male video cassette. When he'd come in with his wife, he'd buy one that was men and women. When he came in by himself, it was all male. And you're trusted with this information, really.
This is some scandalous stuff.
It was. It was some
at the video
crazy
store.
stuff. The video store was a really fun place to work. And then I will say this, because statute of limitations is gone. When you bought a new film, like, hey, Backdraft just came out. Everyone wants to watch Backdraft.
Yeah.
Right? They're like $100, $150, $200
for a video store to buy it.
Right. For us to buy it before they made them like open to everybody else.
Yeah.
We'd make illegal copies of it, photocopy the front, tape it to the front, and then we'd have and it'd be like Backdraft 1, Backdraft 2, Backdraft 3, Backdraft 4. No
one's going to know.
They just wanted to see it. They had no idea.
Yeah. But I mean, stores, if I go to a video store, they can put their own label on it for all I know.
Yeah. We used to photocopy to the label and just put a photocopy. Like, people are like, why is this a photocopy? Oh, the cassette broke. We had to repair it.
Oh, there you go.
We had to repair it. Someone did it. But we fixed the film. You won't even notice where we cut the film.
Yeah. So. And that was before they started doing that whole when you tried to copy a VHS tape.
That came out
lighter and darker and lighter.
That came out when we were doing it, and we had to find a way to do it. We found a way. There was a way to do it.
Oh yeah.
So we did that, and when we did we had a tape would break, the tapes break. That's part of what I would do. I would edit. I had a little machine behind the counter, and when it was quiet, I'd take some of the ones that were broken, I'd edit them back to splice the tape, and that was something I was trained to do. It was kind of fun.
There you go.
But it was a bananas place to work. It was really fun that way. And this is where it comes back to, if you know where I'm going with this, at times I would walk out. I had the key. I'd go up and I'd lock the door, so I'd be back in 5 minutes. Burger King was next door. I'd go get lunch. I could go over to the Acorns liquor store, was the other side of me, that all knew my family, so I wasn't getting anything but a soda.
Yeah.
But I could lock the door, go over, and people would be sitting there waiting at the door. Like, I've been waiting for 20 minutes. It says be back in 5. I'm like, yeah. Took them a while to make my Whopper.
Yeah.
Let me get these for you.
Guys, I'm not even supposed to be here today.
There it is. Yeah. So I would blatantly abuse my power. They come in and go, where's my copy of Backdraft?
Yeah.
I reserved it yesterday. And I'd have 3 of them behind the counter. I go, oh, they didn't come in. People didn't return them yet. Sorry.
Oh, that's a shame.
Just because they were being a jerk.
Yeah. There you go.
Beat up the kid. You're paying $3.17 with tax. I still remember that, writing that on every slip. $3.17. You're gonna yell at me over your $3 rental? Shut up. Just shut up. Yeah. But it was a fun job.
That's great.
Now,
this was a long answer to Liz's.
It is. This is a whole topic. We should have started the show with her voicemail.
We should have started the show with. I can still edit it. Should I edit it that way? That's too much work. So it's time to end the show.
Wait, you didn't tell me your favorite job.
Lifeguarding wasn't it? Lifeguarding wasn't it?
That's supposed to be your worst job.
I don't know. My favorite job. I don't know. I've worked with. I've been able to make videos and interview a lot of pro athletes and stuff like that. I've made some great TV shows with. I went over to London, made
it's the best TV one. Show.
I mean, going over to London or going over to Greece, those were amazing. Got to work with some Olympic athletes and some Premier League football players.
That's cool.
But that's also being like, what's your favorite career? Yeah. My career is my favorite one. Right. I don't know. I mean, I had fun when I was young. I worked at a wine and spirit shop, which was really fun. Yeah. And people would be like, "Excuse me, 17-year-old," and the Mark West Pinot Noir is great right now. It's like, I've never drunk a Mark West Pinot Noir. All I know is that there was an end cap, meaning that my boss wanted to push him. So I'm like, yeah, that's my go-to wine right there.
It. This is great.
That's the one. I actually learned a lot about wine and beer without taking a single sip of wine and beer, because they obey the law at liquor stores.
Some.
This one did.
The one I worked at didn't care.
Well, that was a different time and place.
Different time back in my day.
Old
man's been around a lot in this show.
The 2000s.
Yeah.
Right. Remember, I was a teenager in the 2000s.
Yeah. I had my 30-year reunion from high school this year. It's this year. Great.
That's a shame.
Good times.
So, all right. So let's wrap this up. I think my etiquette tip for the week has to be kind. Rewind.
And look, I think I touched on mine already, where you have to tip well to be remembered. Tip poorly, you're also remembered.
Okay.
So tip well. It's not going to kill you to give them an extra $5. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Your dollar probably goes a lot farther for someone who's working for that money than.
But why don't we tip it at like fast food places? They're making more hourly.
Yeah.
So if they change that law and then people start getting paid more to be servers,
we're not talking politics here. We're not talking about that. No. That's a different show. Mayor and Me will be on iTunes soon enough. Mayor and Mo.
That's kind of fun.
Mo and the Mayor.
Are you going to produce this show?
Yeah, I could produce that show
for nothing.
Sure.
That's awesome. Thank you for that.
We never discussed that part of it.
No, the sound effect was in there.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. But no, I actually had an etiquette tip that I wanted to bring up.
Do it.
Kind rewind. I went out to eat recently, and there was somebody at the table, and this was a business dinner, and there's somebody at the table who decided that they are going to try to cut bites out of their food or put more on their fork than their mouth could really take.
Oh.
And when you go out to eat, don't bite off more than you can chew. Right. Right.
Good.
It's cliche,
well said,
but it's true. But if you are to the point where there's so much food on your fork that you have to strain, like open your mouth like a snake eating an egg and your eyes popping out, right? Like that's not a good look. That's not a good look, right? Like, I already know that you're only going to chew like 10 times, not the recommended 48. So, you're doing nobody but yourself a disservice by looking like a slob doing it.
True.
So, don't bite off more than you can chew.
Be respectful of others who have to watch you eat if you're going to eat out.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, don't chew with your mouth open.
I'll be very honest.
With your mouth full. That just goes without saying.
One of my favorite things in the world to eat is chicken wings, right? I love chicken wings.
I am not a good chicken wing eater.
I'm an awful chicken wing eater, and I hate doing it in public.
Yeah.
I get stuff in my beard. You get like chicken wing juice.
So when you do the chicken wing, it's called sauce. Yep. Usually there's sauce on a chicken wing. It's not the chicken juice.
Could be chicken juice.
But like if I have the drumstick part of the chicken wing, the whole thing goes in.
Yeah.
Like
no, the wing I do the same thing too.
Yeah, and then you
suck off all the meat.
Yeah,
that's how you do it.
Yeah.
But you don't end up getting too much on your face, on your hands. It gets sloppy. It's gross. It doesn't look good, and I don't like when people do that in front of me, and I don't want to be the guy who does that. So I have no issue with going to TK's. There's a little shout out, great wings.
Hey TK,
I have no problem going to TK's and getting wings to go.
Yeah,
I will enjoy.
Even the dry wing though, like the Cajun dry rub wing, you can't do that because it's still you're putting the whole thing in your mouth.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. And they have great wings.
They do.
I love their wings.
They have amazing wings.
And there's a huge menu to pick from, which
76
is wonderful.
flavors.
Wow, is it really?
76 flavors.
That's crazy.
I actually created one of them.
Really?
It's called the American Outlaw wing. My recipe.
Really? Okay.
Yes. After the American Outlaws.
What's on the American Outlaw wing?
It is a sweet and smoky bourbon barbecue.
Okay.
Right. So
like it so far.
It's like a honey barbecue sauce, right? And there's some liquid smoke in the sauce to give it an extra smokiness. And then there's also some bourbon in there.
Okay.
Give it a little.
I like all those things.
And then there's some cayenne. And depending on the amount of cayenne you're putting in there, you can make it mild or you can make it super hot because they have a super spicy cayenne.
Can you handle really like the really crazy hot wings?
The Bushwhacker is the hottest wing that they have.
Can you handle
that? I can handle it. The problem is, it's like I can handle it from like neck up. Yeah. Like I don't mind the burn.
Yeah, you have that stomach thing going,
but
so it's tougher.
Once it starts to work its way
a fragile stomach,
gastrointestinal system
burns twice.
It's not good. It burns like 4 times. I don't know what you're talking about because the burps burn, right?
Yeah,
and then also the poops burn.
Yeah,
and then but yeah, the Bushwhacker. It's a fantastic wing. We actually were giving away soccer tickets to people who could eat those.
Really?
Yeah, because we had some soccer tickets to give away.
That's kind of fun.
So we were like, here you go. If you can eat 3 of these wings.
I've never been like they do the like Buffalo Wild Wings would do like if you can eat
suicide
20 wings in 20 minutes or something, wherever it was. Look, no matter what I'm going to eat, I want to enjoy it. Yeah. I can enjoy a really hot wing.
Yeah.
And I'll make them at home myself. I put them in the air fryer.
Yeah.
You put the wings in the air fryer. And you season them a little bit, but then you take them out and you put them in a bowl.
You toss the sauce.
The sauce. Yeah. That's the way to go.
Toss that sauce.
And that way you're not deep frying a wing. You didn't say anything bad. I saw the look on your face. You can toss the sauce.
Toss the sauce.
It sounds like it might be bad.
But it's not. It might be.
But
that could have been one of the movies you had at the video store.
It could have very well been.
Yeah.
There's some crazy stories about that place,
Toss the Sauce 4, though, was the best one.
There were so many unanswered questions from Toss the Sauce 3.
Yeah. The first three never resolved the story.
4 really put an end to it.
Man. A rear end.
There it is. Are we done?
No, we're not. We're not.
Oh.
We're not. Because we were talking about eating more than you can chew.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the chicken wing thing. There's a restaurant. I went to watch SEC football when I lived out in LA. It's a restaurant called South.
Okay.
And all the Southerners would go there. And people from the South have this thing that's somewhat alien to people like you and I. It's called manners. Now, apparently, when you go to eat chicken wings at South, they frown upon you, especially the debutantes, if you will, frown upon you, sticking the whole wing in your mouth
and then pulling the bone out.
Down and pulling straight bone out.
Yeah.
Well, my friend was dating an actress, right? She's actually a musician. The only thing that she knew about me was like my chicken wing eating habits. And that apparently was a topic of conversation.
Really?
Between her and my friends. They're not together anymore. But either way, it's the only thing like that would ever come up when I was in the room or they're talking about me was just my chicken wing eating habit. And this would come up like several years after this incident. And it's like I met this girl like maybe 3 times, and that was first impression, bad first impressions.
That's you.
We started the entire series of this podcast.
You were not good with first impressions.
Yeah, well, that was one of them. Hey, my name's Myke. I'm gonna eat this chicken. Saucy.
Look, the bone is all that's here.
Toss that sauce.
Throwing the bones across the room.
LSU scored.
Yeah.
I turned into Reptar there for a second.
I don't know what that was.
Oh, well.
You know, here's a thought for next show. I'm going to drop this right now.
Okay.
There was a game my friends and I used to make at the video store where we'd take the name of a movie and try to tie it to another movie by the last word of the first movie to the first word of the next.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
And see how many you could tie together.
Oh, we got to play that game. What's the game called?
We didn't name it. We just named the movies that string together. And you try to see how many you can get.
All right.
Right?
We'll do this. That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
It's good.
But not today because I'm going to be late for dinner.
Killing Field of Dream, Masters of the Soldier Story. Yeah, it was a whole. I had a whole one. It was still in my head. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
Killing Field of Dream. Yeah, this is killing me. I can't remember. I'll come up with it when we're off the air.
Okay.
Do we have a cool, quirky thing to end the show with?
Oh, the same music.
They know we're done.
We got it. Okay, great.
That's good music.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Timmy.